4 centuries have passed since those words were written.
All right,
we have begun to penetrate infinite space, bounded in our
have gone live.
Spacecraft.
And hopefully this looks good. I think the top
I
bar.
can sense them coming across the midnight of space.
Only you
and
can
read
see the top bar.
Circuitry of their ship.
All right, so we're trying something new this Sunday. So welcome to Deep Fried, and I am your host, Fried. So going forward, a lot of this is going to be our true deep dives into certain topics. This one, given the fact that it's Halloween, it's kind of a transitional video. It's not going to be as deep of a dive on your part. You're now the victim for this episode.
The bad dreams.
All right. Today's episode, we're going to be talking about Mars. But kind of in the vein of Peter Venkman, I want to test Rich's ability to retain information given a horrible amount of negative reinforcement. So you are playing probably one of the worst PS1 games it's ever been my displeasure.
It's a 2001 made game. So this is one of the last PS.
Oh, it was a budget game. It was like a $20 game when it launched. It was originally on PC, but our controls were limited. Oh, well, that kind of sucks. It should be good.
Coyote.
Oh, try it now. There you go. We weren't clicked in the the actual thing. So now if you go to options and okay, so go to controls to familiarize yourself with.
Some actions are run and cancel is triangle. Usually it's circle now, but back in the day it was triangle. R1, change character. Okay, change character.
Yep. Yeah, there's not a lot of controls. This was actually a PC game originally, and it was ported like 2 years later to PlayStation. Because I don't think, Take-Two did the port. They're not the original creators.
So they got to take credit for this.
Yep. So, how don't you get started? We will watch the opening cutscene. But other than that, then I'm going to just start torturing you with random facts about Mars. Oh, so there you go. You just start.
Mission log 9:12 a.m. June 17th, 2019.
Actually, once you do it,
Zeus 19
do a
within
favor
2 kilometers of Beta Base. The base directional beacon was out of operation, and there was a demon of a dust storm raging. Fire broke out.
No, you can hit triangle and he'll skip it. Okay, so now hit start and open up your inventory.
Oh, reversed. Wow.
Oh, it's tank controls. Go to options and turn on subtitles for the audience. We should have done that. Display, I think. Yeah.
Subtitles on.
Okay. It was not showing them. That's kind of odd. Oh well. You just have to suffer. Right. And so does the audience. So figure it out. I will give you one hint. Because this took me like 30 minutes the first time. Every single character needs to pick up this radio and communicate with each other before they can do anything.
Are you serious?
So in the helmet is the radio.
How the fuck do you use a radio?
You have to go to the left. Or
Virtual digital watch and health monitoring device. Standard Earth control issue.
Holy shit, the voices.
Mm-hmm.
That's the radio.
Oh, I see what... Hold on a second. I see what's going on. Where is El Mouso? There we go. Where's the collapse?
Cascade one now.
There we go. There you go. Now you have control again. And now they'll be able to see the stuff. So, did you grab... Oh, you grabbed the radio out of there? Okay, good. You have to do that for every character before you can begin.
Oh my goodness. Dear Lord, what is... Oh shit!
Yep.
Is she? No. Oh.
Yep. Horrible tank controls.
Sweet Jesus.
So.
No.
Yep. And you kind of want to. We're not going to get that far, but you also have to remember, like 4.5 hours later, to come back to the stupid suit. Otherwise, you can't beat the game.
Oh my gosh.
So we'll get to some of the bullshit stuff about this game a little later, but right now, what do you know about Mars, little boy?
It's red. We went there.
We went there with robots.
With a robot?
Yeah. We haven't been there. Humans haven't been there yet. So, I've got a list of facts here, and I'm just going to keep reading until you can't stand it anymore.
All right.
So, you may not know it's actually the second smallest planet. After the whole Pluto debacle, and they didn't make that
a planet.
Yeah. Now it's called a Plutoid, but that's a whole other topic. So, as it reads here, if the sun were as tall as a typical front door, Earth would be the size of a dime, and Mars would be about as big as an aspirin tablet. So, a lot of people think that Mars and Earth are about the same size, and that's just not true. Mars is actually pretty damn small. Does everyone have their radios?
Yep.
Now you have to use the radios to contact each other. Then you can begin the game with whoever you want to play as first.
Cancel an airlock in Decontempt 4 area. Anyone listening?
The voice acting is on point.
For 2001, you think they would have learned from Resident Evil, but they definitely
Nope.
didn't.
They probably took inspiration. That's what this reminds me of. This reminds me of a space Resident Evil.
It is space Resident Evil, but it's fucking horrible. I don't understand why people like this game, but I'm not going to sell it because I've never found another copy. And if I ever find a PC copy, I'm definitely picking it up, just because that's even more rare.
Oh, more rare than the console version?
Oh yeah.
So the port is more common.
Yeah.
That's fucking wild.
Yeah, most people didn't even know that there was a PC version. So yeah, you have to report in with everybody, and then I think you might be able to go to the door now. Okay, so yeah, you can't use the radio, so you're good.
Radio link with Khan and Kenzo.
So now you can go to the door and basically continue the game. I will say this. Well, no, I won't. It's better if you find out. So, you are on the fourth rock from the sun. And
third rock from the sun. Oh no, third rock's us. Fourth rock is
Yeah, is Mars. One day on Mars takes just over 24 hours. It's almost the same rotation, but just a little bit longer. And kind of going back to the size thing, it spins a little bit slower, but a lot of people's misconception on the size of Mars actually comes from Venus. Venus is actually very close in size to Earth, but Mars is pretty damn small. So I believe when it gets to it, somewhere down here, it's something just under 6 Mars can fit in Earth.
Oh,
like you just all that
condensed
mass.
Mars, yeah.
I believe. However, even though it has about the same day, obviously its year is a whole lot longer, and it takes just under 2 Earth years for Mars to make one orbit. It takes 687 Earth days for one Martian year, which is actually why when we're doing launches, typically it's like a 18-month window. You know, when you launch something, you're trying to hit like this perfect I think it's a 2-month window for landing because of all the dust storms. So you're trying, once it's on the planet, once the rovers are on the planet, it's not as much of a problem. It is a problem, but landing during that period, you're going to lose it. Because if you try to land something during the storm, it's going to blow all over the place and probably be destroyed. Which is why they came up with that. If you've ever seen the concept art, there was that almost like a beach ball design, where when it lands, it inflates and it just kind of rolls and then it deflates. And I think that's actually how Curiosity landed. It was like a weird rolling cage, and then it
opened up and it came out. Huh.
Which
had a baby.
Yeah, which I forget what they designed. I'm going to jump because I have random knowledge about Mars, given the nature of my job. I forget what the wheels on the Curiosity rover were made out of, but it was actually it wasn't like rubber. Given the terrain, it was super rough, so it had to be really durable. But like over time, the wheels actually started degrading and getting like holes in it. But I believe it has 6 wheels. Yeah, because it has 2 kind of linked wheels in the back and then the 2 in the front. Or 4 in the back, 2 in the front. And it got to the point where there were so many holes in it, like it was rolling over rocks and get stuck on stuff. And a quick note about the rover, I believe it is currently dead. I could look it up real quick.
I think it is.
I believe this year it finally ran out of power, which was something like 6 years or something longer than its supposed life.
Nice.
Like
some good engineering right there.
When NASA says, "Hey, we want our rovers to last for 10 years," most companies actually build it for like 20. On like the Voyager probes that ended up going out of this solar system. Those were not designed to still be working, but they are.
I did not know that. That's pretty interesting.
It's a lot of people take a lot of pride in that they take this next level, and a lot of like the probes that orbit Mars and the Moon. If they're still active, that's how we get such good data. It's like, oh, good. We now know like this location over here. This is where we want to
bonus data.
Yeah, we want to land a probe here. Oh, you're going back in the airlock.
Computer override. Where's the computer? I forgot it's really shitty, muddy PS1 graphics, but.
So you can't open the outer doors without it?
Yeah.
So yeah. Go into decom, or have you already done decom?
I've already done that.
So you can't get through the door that's on this end?
Computer malfunction.
Or
computer override, door malfunction.
That's what it's saying. It might be that green thing back in the airlock room. I remember this took me a long time just to figure out how to get out of the airlock.
I'm like, it's gotta be. It's because the other guy. The only thing in his room is the first guy.
Mm-hmm. I think it's that the green thing on the right.
Oh.
It might be. Maybe not. Well, try one of the other 2 guys.
Yeah, I tried the first guy, and he didn't have any. But I'm like, if both of them are.
Yeah. Try. One of them has to have something. So. It's a pain. It's a pain.
Ooh.
You don't want to do that.
Walking out on the Martian surface without air would be a quick way to commit suicide.
So, one of the other...
I'm trying to kill all 3 of these people, but they're not.
Oh, that's going to be easy. It'll be a lot easier than you think. Oh, yeah, you definitely want that shit. The Piccolo. So, going back to the Curiosity rover, until its death, did you know that every...
Wait, do all 3 characters... do all 3 characters share the same inventory?
No.
Okay.
But there's a system similar to Resident Evil 0, or Resident Evil 1, actually. It was like you can put things...
In storage lockers?
In like tubes, like those bank tubes, and you can shoot it to the other players.
Alright, so they're at least...
But the tube that you drop it in is, I believe, the same tube you have to pick it up from.
Oh, poop.
Yeah. So, it's a pain.
So you better know where that tube's going before you drop something off in there that you might need later. Ooh, especially with games like this back in the day, I wonder if there's any, once you lose an item, you fuck the game. Because I remember that being a...
I don't remember. Yeah.
Thing. I mean, it still was even up to the 360.
Yeah, I think every guy should be able to get a gun. So yeah, check all the storage lockers. What's that back there? Not that. But when you walk towards the door, there was something. What's this thing over on the left here? No. If you want, I can always pull open a walkthrough. Yeah, this game took me. It's a short helmet. It's a short game. It's only like 4.5 hours when you know what you're doing.
But it's meant to be like
it's hard.
Like Resident Evil. It wasn't a terribly long game back in the day.
It's hard to navigate. But I will say, even though I hate this game, it's a far cry better than the Men in Black movie game. Because that is also a Resident Evil game, but it is bad.
I remember that one. Then there was the cartoon one. It was like a first-person shooter. That was pretty fun.
Yeah, people like that one.
No, I didn't even care for the cartoon, but that game was... Damn it. It's just open the airlock door or the helmets.
There's something... it might actually be in the airlock room or the decontamination room. There should be a computer.
For him?
For everybody. I think.
Well, his doesn't even.
Yeah, no, he has a thing.
I kept missing it.
So, activate his.
Oh, you might have to use all three first before.
Probably.
Moving on.
So, did you know that every Earth year, not every Mars year, but every Earth year, the Curiosity rover would actually sing Happy Birthday to itself?
Yeah. I knew that tidbit because, well, Reddit is a wonderful and yet toxic ass place, but there's some cool shit on there usually, and that was one of the random facts today. This is Curiosity's birthday. It's singing to itself. I'm like, what? And they show it. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, and it's very odd. It's almost sad in a way because they don't. No one's really hearing it. I mean, obviously NASA hears it, but for the first couple of years, I don't think they were broadcasting that information. It's like,
poor guy.
It's just sad.
Yeah.
I believe those green things are something. Maybe not, but
doesn't hurt to check.
Yeah, I forget what the tubes. Okay, maybe they're not. When you see the air chutes,
they'll be pretty obvious.
I think so. But chances are you'll probably die coming up. Okay, so this guy, for the most part, is blocked. Unless you can go back the other way. There might be another path, but I think, if I remember, one character is actually blocked for a while. Because I remember playing as the girl and the captain a lot more.
Is anyone around? Anyone alive?
Yes,
or dead?
They are.
If you're dead, don't answer.
I like how the echo, they just have him repeat the line 3 times.
Yeah. Anyone around? Anyone around?
Nope. Alright, he is worthless, I think.
I think that's... Oh, is that the airlock door?
I think so. We'll try it. Ooh.
Yeah, I don't think you have anything that can activate that.
Satsuma.
He's Japanese, so it's like his little lucky charm.
Rainbow tag required.
Okay.
Good old key cards.
Yeah, so check the door further down this way. There's another door. Ah, there you go.
Alien zombies!
Pretty much.
Would they have left the corpse lying in a corridor?
I think you could examine them, but be careful. You can die real quick in this game. So, let's see here. Did you know Mars is a rugged mountain terrain?
Green tag required.
Of course.
You've seen all the movies. And actually, the movies are, for the most part, I guess, fairly accurate. But someone was saying that it's not as...
Ooh, here we go! Is he gonna die?
It's not as...
Oh, no.
Yeah, he doesn't want to search him. It's not as dusty. Like, sometimes it is, but it's apparently not as, like, always, like, that light soil like that. It's...
Well, call me a techno-zen hippie, and I've been called that before. But there's a dead man hovering in front of me in the Boulevard Saint-Michel.
There's a dead man hovering in front of me.
And he's just so calm about it.
So, we've got reanimation, telepathy, and levitation. Now I call that downright supernatural. Alien haunting.
There ain't nothing supernatural about what's going on. Well, I can't remember. There's a... It's very, very similar to Doom. Oh, see, there's the hatch.
Oh, okay.
So it goes
to him, the captain.
Well, no, it's you have to recognize the name, Boulevard Street, Michael Hatch. So if you wanted to trade stuff like guns and stuff,
okay.
But you know, I'll let you explore. Yeah. So,
oh no.
Yeah, I think he just pushes you until you find a way to shoot him or whatever. He doesn't attack you. So, do you know the 2 moons of Mars?
I do not.
Really? As a fellow Doom fan, you don't know the names of the moons?
I know, I should know, but...
Phobos and Deimos.
Oh, okay. I thought it was just made up for the game, but...
No, that's the names of the moons because, like in the first Doom, it actually takes place on the moon. It's not actually on Mars.
Yeah.
Which is why all the sequels always kind of confuse me. It's like, why are you doing that? But
tank controls.
Now you do know where Mars got its name from.
Well, wisdom would be from the God of War.
Good.
I mean, the Romans.
I have to test what your knowledge is before you just start losing your mind over either the boringness of this game or just downright, ooh, micro record. See, now you got an orange stack.
I can go back and...
Well, the one wanted a rainbow.
Yeah, one wanted a green, one wanted a rainbow, and one wanted orange.
Ah.
What's this one part green?
Yellow.
Oh, yellow. Oh, sweet.
Yep. And most of the time you have to remember because it doesn't really tell you very well. So, there are no rings around Mars. However, there will be someday. I believe it's in another 100 years, or maybe it's 200. The moon, and I believe it's Deimos, is actually going to collide. Like its orbit is actually shrinking, and when it gets close enough to the planet and into what little atmosphere it has, it's going to burn up, and what's ever left will create like a little mini ring.
They will become one.
Mm-hmm. Well, you know, the subtext for this, or the subtitle for this game is unification.
Oh, shit.
Which is a key of something that you should be very wary about. See, much like Resident... Well, actually not like Resident Evil, because Resident Evil throws zombies at you pretty early.
Yeah.
This game, they stay dead for a little bit. But they will come alive. And I think it is on like a weird timer system. And if you switch characters when there's enemies in corridors, it's the same thing as like Resident Evil 0. Like you'll get a thing on the radio like, "Oh, help me!"
Ah, crap.
Mm-hmm.
So they could die while I'm playing as someone else.
Yep.
Fan-freaking-tastic.
And this was, what, 3 years before Resident Evil 0?
The bulkhead's sealed. If one's sealed,
Right.
they'll all be sealed.
They saw this like, this is a shitty game. That's some good ideas.
Yeah, it does. So, several missions have gone to the Red Planet. But do you know when the first one was?
Mm.
If you should hazard a guess, when's the first time we sent a man-made object to Mars?
It's gotta be probably
Green tag required.
Damn, green tag. Let's go back and use the orange tag. Mid-80, 86.
No. 1965.
What?
Our first successful Mars mission was the Mariner 4. And we flew it by Mars before we ever even landed on the moon.
I'm about to say, we went to Mars before the moon? Shit.
Oh, we were sending shit out long before.
Right, but...
Yeah, and that's all it was. It was just a flyby mission. I don't think the Mariner got very far. I do not. I'd have to look it up because there's not a link to it off this page. But I believe the Mariner never went past the belt. So I think it flew by Mars and that was it. And then just kind of, and then died. So at this current time, Mars cannot support life. However, there are many theories, and also some real crazy conspiracy theories, which I might get into if we have time, that...
Only a good conspiracy theory?
Yeah, that life actually began on Mars. All life. Because there is evidence of literally like Earth-based like ecosystem. There were oceans, there were rivers, it was very fertile. And then there was some cataclysm that destroyed it all.
And they moved to Earth.
Yeah, and that's, you know, a lot of the conspiracy theories that I read yesterday was... see, now you're thinking, yeah, the voice recorder. I think that's it.
Felici.
Antonio Felici.
Mm-hmm. You have access. Would you like to watch your porn files?
Yeah, it didn't even say that. I was just like, okay, accepted. Recording by Judith Heroin emergency transmission.
Yeah, this might be the one that's important to the story.
It's Harwood.
Oh, it didn't even have subtitles.
It's too late to evacuate.
Why subtitles if you don't show?
Yeah, it's like it only shows subtitles every now and then. I think it's her recording that during the opening cutscene, which our viewers didn't get a chance to really watch.
Yeah.
Basically, this place is called the Vita Base. It's like the biggest, and I think it's the first base that was on Mars, and we just expanded more and more into it, and then it became a research outpost. And this event that you're exploring happened, and on your way to... Oh. Yeah, that's it. You hear that recording in the opening cutscene where she says, if you come here, stay alone, and you'll stay alive. Which is a very, very big hint. Pay attention. Remember that. Stay alone, stay alive. See, there you go. So there's the computer, and now everybody else.
You're out of the box now, Karn. The Decontamp 3 door won't respond. We'll have to find a way to unlock Decontamp 3.
So I would look around, see if you can find a gun.
Okay.
Sure. But other than that...
Unrestricted, what's this?
Bunch of reading.
Oh, okay. Martian Mayhem.
Martian Mayhem. The worst video game in the solar system.
I'm curious. What is...
You'd better get your fun together, Gloria Feist. The outer monster of the inner ring.
What?
There, you backed out of it.
I said it.
Eat Earth and Martian dirtball.
Suck on this, Martian thumb sucker.
Martian thumb sucker.
Yeah. Yeah, so it won't proceed. But you can kind of hear it. It's just a funny little thing.
Oh, I want to play it.
So, the reason it is called the Red Planet is the high amount of iron minerals in the soil and the oxidation that's basically causing all those minerals to rust. It is basically a giant rust planet.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, you don't have a gun, boy. You better get moving.
Donald Trump just got up. Oh, fuck. Oh, no.
Uh-huh.
Oh no, don't say I'm gonna die.
I don't. You might. Did you wiggle your sick? Yeah, you gotta get the fuck out of here. And I think because now, yeah, your safest bet is to just stay here and switch a character. If you're in another corridor where you know there's zombies, you're gonna get attacked. But this guy, I don't think he moves and attacks you. So she's not Karn. She's still locked in here, so you gotta switch to Karn. So let's see. What other random shit can I spout off on you? And then we'll get into the game itself. But yeah, that's... And I forget which probe was it?
Oh, shoot. Okay.
Yeah. Pay very close attention to your surroundings.
Automatic security procedure during biohazard alert.
Yeah. There's a lot of gas canisters lying around. So yeah, I don't think you have any weird things. So it's definitely...
Martin Kahn here. Can anyone hear me? There's something waiting for.
See, the generic space zombies, those are whatever. When you encounter what I'd call like the equivalent of like a hunter or one of the BOWs, ooh, baby. Ooh, baby, baby, baby. Those things I usually just run away from until later on when you absolutely have to fight them. But
what the hell stopped my watch? 48:64? 64 minutes past 48 o'clock? You gotta be kidding.
48:64, that's the code probably, I bet, for...
It's a code to something, but I don't think it's...
That code for the restricted computer?
It might be.
48:64?
It might actually be the code for the final area. Because I remember there was some bullshit like that. Don't you love... Aren't you spoiled now by like things like the Resident Evil remake, where they actually added modern controls to shit like this?
Yes. Oh. Well, I mean, playing the first remake...
Yeah, it was still fine. Like, people who grew up with tech controls get it.
Yeah.
But, man...
They're a pain.
Yeah. If you didn't grow up with it, you just don't understand. Oh, so those are the tubes.
Okay.
So that's a hatch. Oh, okay. So that might be your thing. I don't remember what the thing was.
48:64.
Oh, there's your map. That's not confusing in the slightest. 48:64.
Weird how a passcode got into my watch.
But
I've heard strange stories about the main computer in this base.
Health boost. Green tag.
Yep. So, Mars, back to random facts, because you don't seem to be getting angry enough, and we are almost 40 minutes in, so you're lasting longer. I'm not being mean enough to you.
Triple tag. These tags are what's going to trigger me.
Uh-huh. Oh yeah, because it's a lot different than just iron key and helmet key. There's a different code for every door. That might actually be a save point then. I would go back to the save point, to be honest. You came from there. Because trust me, you're gonna make a mistake soon. You're gonna want to save.
No, it's
it's a vac
tube.
Oh, okay. So So that's what it is. I think the vac tubes, you can transfer stuff between locations, but the hatches are that location only.
Oh, okay.
I forget how you do saving in this game, but man, you're going to want to at some point.
Probably a safe room. It's probably this.
Maybe.
Nope.
Well, you got the eyeglass. It's just not popping up with anything.
Oh, God.
Might be the same code. You know what's funny? I mean, you take things with a grain of salt. No, doesn't look like it. So you got to find a green door. It looks like. You know, in sci-fi, people take gravity for a grain of salt. You know, like this guy's just walking around like every day. He's
right.
Actually, on Mars, the gravity is 62.5% less than that it is on Earth. So, a 200-pound fat man like myself, actually I'm closer to 240, but a 200-pound individual would weigh exactly 76 pounds on Mars.
What?
You'd be a supermodel
That's
on Mars.
amazing.
And a supermodel would weigh like something like 14 pounds.
Negative.
You just flick them with your finger and they go, ah!
That's kind of crazy to think about, because...
Well, it's also why, it's more harmful for like the space station crew, but you know, when you work in low gravity, when you come back, you know, there's usually some damage to your bone density and all that. And that's why they, like, when they work out on those space stations, like,
that's intense.
Yeah, they do some intense workouts. They have to, you know, because in order to keep your physical shape the way it was on Earth, you basically have to really ramp it up on like the space station or on Mars. Oh yeah.
I see a body.
Do you see dead people?
Dartboard. One of them Brit games. Never played it, never will.
I'm not even facing the dartboard. Well, this is just a dead body, I don't care. His finger's all bloody.
Dartboard.
Dartboard.
One of them Brit games. Never played it, never will.
One of those what games?
It sounded to me like
Brit?
you're saying Brit games.
Yeah.
What do you got against the British? Come on now. Chances are, would the British colonize Mars?
Neo Retro Deco.
I don't know.
Mishmash of styles
You
from all
don't
over
not
the
to.
place. The entire
I'm
base
not
was
sure how the
decorated
British
in
space
fashion
program
design supposed to
is
supply
these days.
visual variety for the base members.
Taking that.
Doesn't
Russia
do anything for
and
me.
China are really the only ones launching rockets anymore. We have to borrow their shit until Elon gets off his ass. Ooh, look at that. You got a key.
Music box.
Isn't that the same?
It's not letting me. We gotta listen to its tune.
Wow. No, hit triangle. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, watch order.
Yeah, so now you should be able to go grab it, yeah. So, I think that's the same code if you've been watching the new Treadstone. I think that's the same music that unlocks all the secret agents.
Nice. Ooh.
Didn't he already have a green code?
I must have put it on.
Yep. Jiggle your sticks! Jiggle your sticks! Hit the buttons! Hit all the buttons! Run away, Black Man!
Oh no! Oh, he's gonna die first. Oh no!
Run away, Black Man! Run away! Remember, holding the B button makes you run.
God damn these God damn these tank controls! Wiggle them sticks.
So speaking of, yeah, you can be attacked even at the doors. This isn't Resident Evil.
He's gone.
Yep, he's dead.
Karn is gone. Oh no.
Now does it make you game over, or I can't remember.
Sayonara!
Yep.
Holy shit.
Now, the things that's gonna suck.
No! No!
Start again, boy!
Alright,
This is
dear Lord.
Luigi.
Remember, you have to do all. Yeah, triangle will skip all your things. This is some funny shit. Yep. I was waiting for it.
This is true old school gameplay, though.
Yeah. Now the funny thing is you haven't even gotten to the moment I've been expecting you to make. Yeah.
What?
So now you got to switch to everybody and do all this horse shit again.
Radio.
So something that it should be common knowledge to me. I think it's common knowledge. But did you know that the largest volcano in the whole solar system is on
Mars?
Yeah.
Karn, are you there?
Olympus Mons.
Active or not active?
It's dormant at the moment. Yeah. Let's see. 3 times the height of Mount Everest.
Okay, Karn.
It's the largest mountain, largest volcano.
Holy fuck.
Yeah. It's big.
Could you... that conspiracy theory is starting to sound more true.
Honestly, you know,
it wipes out the first civilization.
There is a conspiracy that it wasn't like some great war or any bullshit like that. It was they had a natural disaster and it wiped them out. And you know, maybe we're about to do that to ourselves. Who knows?
Or we're descendants from them.
Mm-hmm.
Nah, because we can track back to the cavemen, which were primitive.
So,
but yeah.
And what was it? What was I going to say? I forget the name. I myself have a personal. Did you get the radio for her too?
Yeah.
Okay.
They all have to have the radio.
Okay. Already.
Yeah. Oops.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, they all have the radio. I think only one person has to pick. It's one of those weird things where they can't share inventory, but they can somehow share radio.
Yeah. It's weird.
It's early 2000s, 90s game design.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think much of it. I was like,
yeah,
I'll roll with it.
And remember, there is a huge fan community for this game. Like,
really
searching for a way for us to play it yesterday because my physical copy wasn't working, so I had to do some finagling to get it to work. People love this game. They actually do criticize the PlayStation version. They're like, "Oh, the PC version is so much better," but everything I could find, there's not much difference.
I could see it being keyboard and mouse probably a little easier to control, but not by much.
Talking about tank controls, kind of a weird subset or sidetrack. I have to play the original 5 Tomb Raiders with a mouse and keyboard.
I can kick the zombies.
Mm-hmm. I cannot play Tomb Raider 1 through 5 on a controller.
Nice.
Because the first time I played it was on PC.
I used to get used to those controls.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, see, first one I played was PlayStation.
Well, and see, and the other thing is the PlayStation had those crystal save points. Mm-hmm. On PC, you could save anywhere you wanted to.
That's the limitation back then. Mm-hmm. Now, PC and consoles want the same.
I think similar to this, there was something with that where it was. People say the PC version of this is much better and looks better, but I'm like, I couldn't find too much differences.
I wouldn't be surprised if the PlayStation version looked better just because it came out later. They probably had time to clean up the graphics, or maybe it was better textures, but the graphics were probably a little more crisp on PC, but less detail.
Yeah,
because that happened a lot back in the day. Because I remember Half-Life 1 on the PS2 did look better than the original Half-Life until they obviously updated the source.
Yeah, when they went to Half-Life source. Honestly, I still prefer to play Half-Life.
The original?
Half-Life on PS2.
Really?
The big difference is they traded out the Glock for a Beretta and then the submachine gun for a...
Did they get sued or something?
No, they just randomly changed it.
Probably make it feel fresh.
Yeah. So it's like you had an M16 with a grenade launcher instead of the MP5 with a grenade launcher. And then the PS2 one also had a special expansion thing. Half-Life DK, which was a co-op mode.
On PlayStation, yeah.
We should play that sometime because that's fun
to play. Did you ever see the Half-Life 1.5? Mm-hmm. It was like the tech demo for 2.
Oh yeah.
It's this weird thing. You part of 2, but it's not.
You can see what they were building up to. But,
yeah.
Mm-hmm. So yeah,
back to the floating body.
Yeah, you know where to go. You got to go to the floating body and do all that stuff, which I think is back that way.
Yeah.
What's the name of this game? This is Martian Gothic Unification. It had a subtitle because they apparently honestly thought that people wanted to play more of this shit.
Anyone alive?
Or
dead?
Please tell me they subbed for a sequel.
Don't answer.
It doesn't really... It could have a sequel, but to be honest, this game just ends. It has... I'm trying to think of another game... Yeah, I'm trying to think of another game that has as shitty of an ending. Maybe something like Episode 2, where it just ends and there's no resolution.
Oh.
This game seriously just ends.
Here was alive. Would they have left
that pisses me off more than a shitty ending. No ending.
Depending on who you save, which you can save all 3 people, and that's how I beat it, is all 3 people survived. You see a cutscene of your rocket ship taking off, and then it just fades to black. That's it. You don't give it any voiceovers, no context. It's just the mission's over, and you see the rocket go, and then it just goes to credits. Or does it even go to... It might actually just go back to the main menu.
That's like Inception. Because people were bitching about that for a long time.
Oh, that's a great ending, though. But
I enjoyed it.
There's still resolution to that story.
Yeah.
This one, it's like
nope.
you get kind of a resolution, but you actually don't solve the problem. It's just, oh, well, this place is fucked. We gotta escape. And then you escape, and it's over.
So it has a basic story. Like it's a resolution, but
yeah, it's not like Resident Evil where it's like, oh, we stopped Wesker and we blew up the mansion.
Ah, I can send him the gun. Okay.
So now you gotta find the tag.
But she has the gun. Crap. So we gotta let her out to send it to him.
So, going back to our discussion of Mars, which is what this is supposed to be about, I personally have I guess you could call it a Mars curse. I'm not sure which probes it was, but one of them was the polar probe that crashed, and another one was one of the landers. Yeah, you have to open up the special door with Santiago or whatever Japanese name he has.
Santiago.
That's Spanish, but
Si, senor.
It's Mr. Sayonara.
Konnichiwa, senor.
Or Kenki? What's his name? I don't know. I don't remember any of these characters. This game sucks. Karn's the black guy.
Black guy.
I don't even remember. I don't remember these characters because this game sucks. I played this game when I was in Fairfield.
I'm not gonna lie. It's growing on me.
Yeah, you get a little bit of that.
But it'll probably piss me off as soon as I die again.
I'm trying to think. What's that term? That Swedish thing for the hostage situation. What's that phrase? I can't think of the
Stockholm syndrome.
Stockholm syndrome. Yeah, you get a little bit of that
like
playing
the
this
lock
game.
mechanism has been heat
But I played this when I was living at the apartment in Fairfield.
So that was a while ago.
Yeah, because I think I bought this from Jesse at the old location.
That would make sense, yeah.
By the movie theater, because it was when he was like putting everything on sale.
He had some really good stuff back in the day. Ever since he's gotten bigger, more common stuff comes in now. But yeah, there's some. You can find some hidden.
It's the same reason I have Ava Unit 1. Because it was that big. I got that Steel Battalion, and I think this game and a few other rare games because he's like, I don't want to move it.
Right.
So he's like, what do you want to pay for it? I went, okay.
Yeah, because Steel Battalion is such a niche market.
The only game Jesse ever stood his ground on was Ninja Gaiden Trilogy for Super Nintendo.
Oh hell yeah!
Because he was charging $100 or no, $120 for it. And that was back when I was there like every week. And I said, hey man, 120 is a bit steep. How about I just give you a flat 100? I'm like, that's easy. I can go to the ATM right now, flat 100, boom. Yeah. And he's like, dude, this game goes for 200 with just the cart. He's like, 120 is a good price. I'm sticking to it. I'm like, fine. And I ended up buying it anyway.
Yeah, I mean, Ninja Gaiden Trilogy is a rare collection.
Which is funny because the only one I can't find is 3.
Yeah.
That's the only Ninja Gaiden
standalone
game.
3.
Yeah. For Nintendo, I don't have 3, but I have all the other games.
Corridor after corridor.
Back to my curse. I'm not sure what the probes were. I could look it up, but, you know, I prepared, but not over prepared. So there was the famous probe where it was that famous case of the company who built the probe versus NASA, where the software was all in meters, but NASA was working in feet. Do you remember that scenario? Where, yeah, and the software was calculating meters, and they kept saying adjust, but they were adjusting the flight path in feet, and the thing crashed into the. Let's see,
that's awesome.
Human domesticated animals suffer.
The bulkhead
yes. Sometimes they do.
Yeah. I mean, I would assume any being that can reason.
Yeah, and feel.
Could feel and reason.
Yeah, it's kind of why.
Not reason, but it's a sort of reasoning, I guess.
Yeah. Well, it's why like some dogs will stick with their owners even when they're like fucking like you can see their ribs.
Abuse
and basically. dead.
Well, because they don't know any different.
Yeah. Which is sad. That's
yeah.
very sad. Which I'm glad because Congress just passed the thing that animal cruelty is now a federal offense.
Good, because it happens way too often. Sorry for the tangent, but it happens way too often.
Yeah. But yeah, that probe that crashed into the polar ice caps, and it was supposed to land in the polar ice caps and take some readings. I don't think it was a mobile device. It was like supposed to land, drill down, send some data back to NASA, and that was it.
Oh.
It crashed. My name was on that probe.
Nice.
Because I'm still not sure if they do it as much anymore. They do it for like doctors and other people. And obviously their employees as well, and some of the employees at companies that build their stuff. But they used to have a thing on the NASA website where you could get your name engraved on a golden record. Like similar to what they put on the Voyager probes.
Yeah.
They would create golden records or even golden CDs with all this data, and you could have your name on it. And it was like your name and like your sex and your blood type. It was like basic information about you. And my name was on that probe and it crashed. Well, my dad kind of, being the jokester he is like, oh, ha ha ha, you caused the ship to crash, it's all your fault, blah blah blah, you know. Well, a few years later, there was another probe, and it was, I believe it was the rover before Curiosity in Space Lab, because it was like, yeah, it's like Space Lab and Curiosity were the two that
Looks
were
like
actually
the lock
landed.
mechanism has been heat fused.
Well, Curiosity was very successful. The previous one was successful. The previous to that one, my name was also on there. He said, "Hey, well, let's try again. Let's get your name on Mars." And that one crashed. I think that one didn't even crash. I think it blew up in the atmosphere because it came in at such a steep angle. So ever since then,
your Mars curse.
Yeah, I have never put my name on any probe.
I forget where I got the green key.
No, Karn gets the green key. He needs the orange key. Did you get the orange key?
Don't think I did.
You have a key to something.
Got the med key. Key med bay. I got the note to Ben Gunn, which I didn't get before.
Huh.
I think it was on a dead body.
It might be. There it is.
Yeah.
So now you gotta. I think you have to
Back.
go.
I think this was yellow.
You have to find. Yeah, you have to find the door with the floating body because it's in that same hallway with the floating body.
Which is back here.
Yeah. So yeah, I have never put my name on another probe, no matter where it's going, because every time, well, it's only 2 times, but that's a pretty good.
Can you put a probe that goes to the White House? I'm just saying. if you're gonna have a curse, we might as well use the curse.
Oh, yeah.
And now we're on a watch list.
Probably.
Hello, NSA.
Thanks for that.
How are you doing today? I am doing swell.
Tags open doors. No shit.
Just don't look in my backyard, man. Okay, sweet.
So, back to random Mars facts. Check the rest of the room.
Yeah,
just in case.
Before he gets up. Yup.
Or she gets up.
Oh, it is. It's just really
examine it, because there might be stuff in there. Okay, nothing. That goes to the director's office. Just in case there's a gun, because then you can shoot her and just stay in here. Which I can't remember. This game might...
Nice desk.
Oh, you have to... That sturdy lock that Karn finds, you have to send him.
Oh, no.
Yeah. To the computer. So, did you know that every crater on Mars that is under 60 kilometers is named after a town on Earth? But the caveat is, it has to be a town under 100,000 people population.
What?
Yeah. So, I don't know where they came up with this from, but it's any town that's small, which actually is, I think if you're under 100,000 people, you are legally called a town. Like, honestly, town, city, townships, stuff like that, it actually does fall under a population banner. And all craters under 60 kilometers in diameter on Mars are named after towns. So there's, like this one, they show a picture of it. That is the Surrey crater. Named after Surrey, England.
Holy shit. This is Surrey crater.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, and this is where I said before, is like just over 6 whole Mars.
Oh, here comes.
Yep. Hey, you remember how to run.
Oh, no, take control, strike again.
I put my name on a probe. It was sitting in a parking lot covered in dirt. I wrote, Lance was here. Yeah, so now you might as well. Oh, unless you. Oh, use the thingy. Yeah, he's just going to push you away. Or no, yeah, just stay in here, and then I think when you get that desk key, you're going to want to send it back to him. So you got to go to Karn now.
Yeah, because I don't think I have the key for him. Karn.
No, you died in the room where you got the key. Now, I could do some cheatsy doodle and do a save state for you if you get back to where you were.
Yeah.
When you get back there, I'll do a save state. I believe it's F1. But let's see. Yeah, Mars is approximately 53% that of Earth's diameter.
Bolt block 779 locking mechanism. Looks like
he is so scientific in his inside. The other guy's like, it's a door. I need the orange tag. He's like, bolt locking mechanism. Oh, Ford. Oh, that makes sense. I was about to say, I'm like, I don't get the joke. Was there a probe sitting in the middle of Hamilton?
I mean...
On a different tangent.
What surprised me?
Because we are in kind of a weird space tangent and other tangents today. Did you know that when Skylab actually was deorbited, it was purposefully deorbited?
64 minutes
when we were starting to build the ISS, we just said, well, we're not using Skylab anymore, we don't care.
Yeah.
And we deorbited it. A big chunk of Skylab actually fell into Australia, like into the outback, and the Australians viewed that as littering and tried to sue and like ticket the U.S. government and say, if you want your property back, you got to pay like $100,000.
Okay, whatever. Keep it.
Well, that's exactly what NASA said. It's like, dude, we deorbited it because we don't care. Just take it.
Just take it.
And I think the same thing happened with the Russian station. What was that one called?
Oh, Russia had its own.
Yeah. They also had they were on the Space Lab as well. What was the Russian station back in the 90s? I used to know it. I can't remember. Merv or something? I don't know.
Merv.
Mm-hmm. So, now we're going to start getting into the future a little bit.
The future.
NASA, by 2030, would like to have a Mars colony.
Weird how
we're knocking on 2020.
10 years. 11 years, technically.
Well, and the funny thing is initially, I believe was it under Obama's first tenure? It might have been late Bush, early Obama. The original plan was 2020. They wanted at least like a lab. Not like a full. Obviously nothing like this, but they wanted like a small lab, like what you see in The Martian.
Yeah.
Just like one building thing.
It's cool as fuck. It's kind of scary.
Yeah, when Barry O kind of went through the budget cuts, that was like one of the first things that got pushed because he canceled. What was it?
Do we remember who was at Park Lane?
No one's been to Park Lane yet. You were on Boulevard Street, Martin or something like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, you can't go through there because that door needs a code. Yeah, you're looking for that room with the dartboard. But yeah, so things got pushed when Barry O canceled the Ares project, but I'm sure he knows now. The funny thing was there were so many billions of dollars pushed into the Ares project that when he basically said, no, we got to do away with that, we're spending too much money on it, all NASA and all the companies that were working on it did was just reclassify it.
Oh, yeah.
So it's no longer
Makes
called
sense.
the Ares rocket, it's the SLS, it's the Space Launch System.
Yeah, I mean, if you have so much invested in already, it's like, budget cuts I get, but sometimes you have to...
Yeah. So I can't remember what the new capsule's called. The capsule might still be called Ares, though. Or maybe
Like Ares as in the God of War Ares,
yeah.
or... Okay,
Yeah.
or Ares as in like the
because
sign.
that's why they called it Ares, because it was the rocket that was going to go to Mars and deliver. The thing is as big as a Saturn V.
Jesus.
It's
big boy.
It's powerful. In a Saturn V now, they predict, like with our knowledge of fuel and everything, will actually get you to Mars.
Oh, like an old 1969 Saturn V? Or
well, with modern technology.
Yeah. But that size rocket.
Yeah, to get to the moon, I think we're still going to use the Space Launch System, but it's like less fuel, and then you can put more equipment in there.
How did we get to that realm? It's got to be...
Yeah, it's currently called the Mars One Project, to deliver people to Mars. And I'm sure you remember this, because it was only like 5 years ago, or something like that, where it was like 100,000 people applied to go to Mars.
Oh, yeah.
It was the one-way trip, and I think they selected something like 12 people or something.
Did they actually do that yet? They actually send them?
No, they didn't send them, but they've selected them. I think they've selected their team. Now we're getting into some weird shit. Just because it's torment time. And now we're going to get on vaguely Mars-related things. Did you know that the capital of Egypt, Cairo, is technically the Arabic name for Mars? In Arabic, Cairo is actually called Al-Qatir. And that is Mars.
Huh.
Just a random weird fact I ran across. I'm like, okay. I'm like, I'll put that down. That's a weird one.
Alright, so what key do we have?
You have the green
hem, but there's no green door.
Because I feel like you found a different. You had the green key and you found another door.
Yeah. Because I was like,
no, you did find a green door at some point. You're just.
I'm circling, but
it's like, pull up your map, because you know you're in Park Place. So it's under inventory. Not that the map's that great to look at, but it'll kind of give you an idea. So you're on Park. Where's Park? So, okay, you're at the bottom here. So, right there, if you go past the purple door, there's a green door.
Okay.
So this bubble at the bottom is where that code is.
Okay, so...
And I think this is what leads down into the mines.
Okay, so we go here.
So you got to find... It might actually be... Yeah, are you examining or searching him? Because there's a difference.
This guy's got 3 bullets in him.
Oh, shit.
Oh, shit. Here we go again.
So, why Mars itself is currently what you consider inhospitable.
Right.
Oh, wait. Is that the purple door?
I believe that is the purple door.
Go back to the purple door and then go to the left, and there should be a green door back there.
Yeah, that's where we just came from.
Did you know the makers of Mars candy bars also make a line of people food and are based in Nashville, Tennessee? I did not know that. a line of people food. You know, you got to work on your phrasing, because when you
people
say
food,
people food, are you talking like, you know, what was that shit? The Agent Green?
Soylent Green.
Soylent Green.
Soylent Green's people.
So yeah, search him. The green door is supposed to be around here.
Yeah, search him.
Is that the green door?
Swear to God, this is the green door. I'm pissed.
That's it.
Well.
So, yeah, so... Oh, pet foods. Pet foods.
I was like, people food one.
Yeah, I'm like, technically, candy bars are people food. Okay, so...
Yeah. Cannibalism.
There. I think you got a save state. I don't know how you redo a save state, but...
It's a dot board.
So, Mars itself is not exactly hospitable to humans, or life, or growing anything. However, there has been a lot of science conducted on the soil. So, why you can't create things like strawberries, blueberries, any type of, good sweet stuff, the soil on Mars is actually excellent for growing asparagus and turnips. Yeah. So, honestly, in the movie The Martian, it would have been very different if you just had this whole asparagus farm. And then it would smell like absolute fucking piss the whole time. Okay.
Yeah, it's weird. Oh, maybe we gotta use the green tag for each.
Oh, you have to send him, I think, the green tag and the key, because Keiko, or whatever his name is, has a green door as well. But that key will open up the door in Creepy Lady's room.
Here we go.
Run.
Try to turn around and B. I turned around.
Yeah, there's no quick turnaround. Okay, just run for the door. Run for the door. Run for the door. What are you doing?
The controls are fucking up.
Go. Oh my god, you're doing a quick turnaround.
I know.
Stop fucking the controls. Go, 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 go. Go, 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 go. Run, 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 run. Okay, I don't think he followed you in here, but you should find a Dropbox to send that shit to what's his face, and then go back to the airlock, because the airlock's the only place you're going to be safe. Oh, there's our usual visitors. Autocorrect strikes again. But will the shop grow any Mary Jane? Oh, soil. Yeah, your autocorrect sucks, Lance.
Yeah, it's bad.
Will it grow Mary Jane? I don't know. It might, because that's actually a very delicate plant to grow. Mm-hmm. So probably not. It's basically you're gonna survive on asparagus and potatoes. Basically, you're gonna be Matt Damon for the rest of your life if you're on Mars. At least for the first couple colonies. Now, by the time you get to 3 boob chick, you're probably fine.
Get to 3 boob chick.
So where does that tube send?
Park Lane.
Well, you're in Park Lane. Oh, okay. So that's how it works: is you put the stuff in and then you send it up, and then send that as well, and then go over and you send it up, and then now you can, when you switch to the Japanese guy, he finds one and can suck it down. But the other drop boxes are no, don't switch. Get him back to his airlock, because I think you are on a timer, and these guys are going to wake up at some point. And anyway, you want to be in your own airlock, because since you haven't gotten to it, that's the most humans want to know. Oh yeah, well, you could pre-package it and just take it with you, But since you haven't died by it yet, because you're not that far yet, I will tell you, there's a reason why this game's called Unification, and why that lady said "Stay alone, stay alive."
Is it like the thing where it copies you?
Well, the virus or the weird crap that's going on right now, if you or any of the other 2 characters come in contact with each other, you clump together.
And what happens then? You die?
Yeah. You become like the 2-headed thing. You like clump together and become a monster.
Oh, that sucks.
And when you're going for the escape pod at the end of the game, you actually have to plan it out and send one person through and make sure that none of the other characters are in their path. And it's not if they're on the same screen. Like, if you walk into the same hallway and you can't even see the other character, it'll play a cutscene and you're dead. That's a hatch. You need to find Sucky Down. So, run around and suck it down. Oh, remember the whole thing about 1965?
Yeah.
Or 1964, whatever. That was the first American mission. Us being Americans and basically constantly losing the space race until we landed on the moon and declared ourselves victors, which is honestly some arrogant bullshit, but the Russians were actually the first ones to make it to Mars. The Soviet Union's Mars 1 probe, all the way back in 1962, was the first probe that took pictures.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. They beat us in everything. The only thing we beat the Russians in was landing first on the moon, and then we won the race, and it's like, dude, you know,
we won the race.
12 losses and 1 win doesn't get you a fucking Rose Bowl, dude.
But that win. That win.
Oh,
it was the MLB win.
The people that got selected for the Mars 1 project, they will have to train for 8 years in a secluded area. Basically, they're apparently going to train them in like desert environments and very rocky environments. And it's going to be an 8-year training before they're ever allowed on the rocket. Jeez. Yeah, they're going to go through some serious bullshit.
But it's a one-way trip.
Sealed.
Yeah, the first team, it's a one-way trip.
Sealed.
There's no way to get them back. Because, especially given the dust storms and everything else, you basically have to establish a base and build the things up, and then maybe you can have something similar to like the lunar lander that rockets back up to a spaceship.
Right.
But even, oh, there it is. There's a Sucky Down. So now you get the flashy thing. There you go. So let's see. That's kind of funny. No bikinis are required on Mars. That's because here on Earth, the average surface temperature is about 14 degrees Celsius or 57 degrees Fahrenheit. On Mars, its average temperature is negative 60 degrees Celsius or negative 80 degrees Fahrenheit. So if you're going outside without your suit, I mean, granted, you're not going to be able to breathe anyway, and then your eyes are going to pop out of your head like freaking Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Whoa!
But you're going to die. Oh yeah, the Hanging Man.
Drive belt. Oh my
God. See, and even when I was talking to Lance and Jay about this, Jay's like, man, this game sounds great. And I'm like, oh, it does. It sounds amazing.
Plays like shit. Sounds
plays
great.
like shit. What's the thing on the ground?
Yeah, the orange thing. I saw that.
It's a rubber chicken. You whack people with it. I don't remember.
Please tell me that's what it is. Deflated Mars hopper.
Yeah, it's a basketball. Deflated.
Oh my god.
I don't remember a lot about this game. I remember certain things. I remember the clumping. I remember the super enemies that become standard later on, and I remember the ending.
Is that all that's in here?
Yeah, I think so.
Body and...
I think so. I mean, you could probably examine it. So there's another green tag, and you probably want to send that up for what's-her-face. And then, yeah, examine all the other stuff, too. The micro recorders you might have to go back to that one room from.
3 notes. Nothing of interest on them, but a sturdy paper clip can come in handy.
Yeah. So you always have to examine shit like that for dumbass reasons. The Bible.
And the star fell blazing from heaven, and fell upon a third part of the rivers, and upon the fountains of waters. And the name of the star is Wormwood. Wormwood is Chernobyl in Russian, but that's probably just one of those things.
Yep. So that's probably something you could dump in a box, because I don't think you ever need it. Nah, I don't think you need that right now. So what you want to do?
The wind out of you, didn't they?
if you can get back there without what's-her-face chewing on your face, is you want to go back and open up that drawer in that room with the zombie lady. She might snap and drop down. Not sure. Guess not. So, another interesting fact about Mars. Why we continue? Because we actually only have about half an hour left or so. You are doing surprisingly well.
I mean, the facts are not that bad.
Well, I just figured that.
Interesting.
Yeah, I just figured that the interesting facts combined with a horrible game, you'd just be like,
oh,
I don't want to play this anymore.
No. I think I played so many shitty games before that it's like, yeah, it's bad,
but it's not horrible. It's not the worst thing you've ever played.
Yeah, I mean, Lair was pretty disappointing too.
See, I never played Lair. I think you guys had. Probably the green. The green you want to send back up, but everything else you're probably fine. Stuff like the Bible and everything else you'll probably want to get rid of in a Dropbox, but. So you got to find what's-her-face's room.
Oh, the zombie lady.
Yeah, because you got to open up that drawer. So, did you know that sunsets are completely opposite on Mars? So why here, typical sunsets are kind of a reddish hue. I mean, sometimes you get some cool stuff like, purples or whatever, depending on where you're at. But usually it's orange.
Right.
On Mars, when the sun sets, it's blue. Which leads into a conspiracy theory that I was reading about, where people honestly believe that the government and NASA is lying to them, and Mars is perfectly habitable, and we have people there now because they've seen the picture from the rovers of the sunset. And it basically looks like the sun way off in the distance, but the sky's blue. And they're like, well, if the sky's blue, then it has an atmosphere. And it's like, well, yeah, it has an atmosphere. You just can't breathe it, dumb shit.
Yeah.
I mean, it's almost a similar atmosphere to Earth, but the oxygen content is like through the floor. Its CO2 levels and its nitrogen levels are so much higher than they are here. And CO2 is deadly poisonous to us. So.
Where did I go for
that? This is how I felt.
Oh, God.
And I even beat this shit in 4.5 hours. Let's see here. Oh, yeah. That's why. Here it is. The atmosphere is made up of 96% carbon dioxide. So basically, you, I think that's the room, isn't it? Or no, that's the yellow door. That's the yellow door. Yeah. So that's why you have to have a spacesuit. Until we figure out some serious terraforming, you want to get back in there. See, your timer's up. Yeah, I think it was that door. Yeah, because this is floating, man. And then, yeah, that one. So she'll probably still be in here because you don't have a gun. Okay, so if you walk, hopefully she doesn't get up. To the drawer. To the drawer is where you want to use the key. Maybe you get lucky. Let's see. Hopefully that helps. I hope it's F1. If not, you've wasted time. Yeah, I think it's that.
Nice desk. Shame about the lock.
Huh.
So this is not the study?
Maybe not.
Both keys have a, yeah.
Huh. Well, that's a shame, because you got to find a way to get her out of her thing. We've used all the codes.
Nope.
Yeah, examine his note. You have to examine that, not use it. Oh, you better get the fuck out of here, boy.
Help!
Oh God, there's a zombie bitch trying to eat me.
She's raping me.
I'm just trying to scroll through to see if there's some other.
Okay,
So yeah, you can probably dump some stuff in there. 'Cause I don't think you're gonna need the Bible.
Bible.
And the star fell blazing from
You used it instead of. Yeah. Everything else, I think you're fine with. You got to figure out where those keys are supposed to be used. Oh, maybe the study is where that guy got attacked. Because you pulled the key off the dead body and then he attacked you. I bet there's a drawer in there. I bet that is the study. Because the study would have like something like a dartboard or whatever.
Oh shoot! Yeah, what?
So you need to go back to the vent thing. Not there. Not
Oh,
there.
oh!
You got it.
Oh!
Get out of there, dude. So run back to the sucky upper through that door, and then give the guy back his thing, and then you're gonna want to find a place to hide.
The sucky upper.
And the bank tubes. Let's see here. There's a lot of stuff that I randomly spouted off a bunch of shit and completely out of order. Ah, yes. Which most people know this, but Mars is one of 5 planets that human beings can see with the naked eye.
Yeah. That's.
Yes, that's the gym. You might be okay if you stay in there. Have you already used the sucky upper?
No.
Yeah, if you use that, you might be able to hide in here. I don't think she falls down until a certain event. But yeah, Jupiter, Mars, Saturn, Venus, and Mercury are the only planets we can see with the.
Sucky upper is.
It was in the corner somewhere. It was definitely in the wooded area, but it was in like a corner with 2 doors. One day, most likely in our lifetime, which is, they got a lot more faith than I do in our government and the space system because politics get involved. Oh no, you want to probably put that back in there, the green tag. And
and the study key.
And then put the keys back in there. Yeah, maybe even the med key. And then send them back up. He doesn't have to pull them out, and then find a place to hide. But yeah, one day, most likely in our lifetime, you will be able to send a letter to a loved one on the red planet. Electronically, obviously.
Yeah.
But it's going to cost you a whopping $18,000 to send mail to outer space.
What?
Or no, that's actually a physical letter. If you want physical
There's
letters,
no fucking way.
like if there's a mail service. Yeah, they have a lot more faith in our government and politicians than I do. Because I don't think so. There ain't no way in hell that shit's gonna happen. They're already planning for camps there. And going down the canyons and all that. It's like, I mean, you guys got a lot of faith, but that shit ain't gonna happen until like, I don't know, 2020 or 22 something.
22.
There ain't no way in hell. Not with our current system. Mars is famous for its dust storms. In fact, it has the largest dust storms in the solar system, obviously, because there's no real atmosphere to counter it. But these can last for months at a time. And some of them can engulf the entire planet. And that's why I was saying is we actually have really good weather capabilities at NASA to determine what's coming on Mars. You know, we can predict our weather fairly well here.
Yeah.
We can, like, damn near guarantee what the weather is going to be like on Mars. And that's why when we send up rockets, like, and especially given the nature of my job, if we miss a delivery, we can fuck up a launch for 2 years if we don't meet a deadline. So it's crazy shit.
Purple.
The very first map of Mars was created in 1840 by Johann Madler. It took him 10 years worth of observations with the telescope, but he actually created the first map. That's some crazy ass shit. Oh, try, yeah. Try the other codes on everybody else's watches. Yeah, I just thought of that. Oh, and you probably want to take some health too, because he's been chomped a bit. Nope. Take some health if you can.
Okay, give him health.
Did you know that our planets are actually getting closer to each other?
Mars and Earth?
Yeah. Over the next 25,000 years.
Oh, shit.
The distance between our planet will continue to decrease. I mean, granted, it's only decreasing by like an inch like every year.
Right, I thought I was about to have to actually worry about something.
No. I don't think they'll ever come into contact with each other until the sun really starts expanding. But by that point in time, our oceans are boiling. We'll all be dead anyway if we haven't found a way out of the solar system.
And humans, as we know, will be extinct.
Mm-hmm.
The end.
Let's see here. Yeah, we've talked about how it was all nice and oceany, and no human feet have ever walked on Mars. No shit. However, the population of Mars is 7. Because we count the rovers.
Okay.
And that's actually a really nice picture of the Curiosity.
Yeah.
And talking about how the wheels were actually solid looking like that. But then they actually started getting like really corroded and having holes in them and everything. We actually have a model of that sitting on my buddy Carrie's desk at work. We 3D printed
Nice.
a rover.
Do a moonlander.
Mm.
That'd be cool.
Now we're just getting into just absolute bullshit. Has Lance said anything? Nah.
No.
What's the most humans want to know about? What, the three-titted chick? That's what I want to know about. When
How does that work?
When can we get mutants on Mars with 3 tits? That's what I want to know.
How does that work?
Well, in the context of the movie, they explained it that the first domes cracked, which caused some of the atmosphere to leak in, and they got like some weird poisoning from the air filters combined with the outside atmosphere and created mutants. Now, outside the movie universe, man, we are going on a weird fucking tangent. Outside the movie universe, the reason that mutants were even in Total Recall was because before Verhoeven was to direct it, that was supposed to be a Cronenberg movie. So he put like Cronenberg-esque mutants in his script, and then when Verhoeven took it over, he made
Took them out.
He made it a little less weird, but they were still there.
It's the Cronenberg conspiracy.
Mm-hmm. Oh my God, there's a bunch of Cronenbergs, Morty. That is horrible.
You see? Oh, remember that? Speaking of which, AEW this Wednesday, Rick and Morty will be in AEW wrestling.
Really?
Why? Because AEW is on TNT. TNT owns Adult Swim. Cross promotion, baby.
That's good.
They're giving away free masks to wear on
did you suck down the keys?
Yeah.
Yeah, you got. Not. You definitely don't need the green ones. No. Suck it down. So you need the key. You don't need the tag. The tag's definitely got to go to the girl. So put the green tag back in the tube. These keys got to be used somewhere.
I'm trying to remember where that study was in the context of this whole.
I don't know, but I'm going to F1 you
The
again.
decomposition of the bodies, they probably died around the time of the last transmission to Earth. Weird thing is, They're like human freezers. I can feel the cold coming right out of them.
That's like your only attack for right now. So, now we're getting obscure. The month of March is named after Mars. Because his month, Martius, was the beginning of the season of warfare. And warfare would last for a month in the Roman calendar.
March.
This
shit!
Yeah, this was as late as 153 BC.
Oh shit!
Did you take your health?
Yeah. There's shit over there. There's like a purple and yellow thing on the bottom of the screen.
Uh-huh. That's probably the yellow tag.
Get off me, honky!
You dead, son. Oh no, run. 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 Oh, no, he doesn't care anymore. Get out of there, man! Let the door close. He will come out.
What is that? He's holding it.
It's a pop gun. What's the other thing you...
Are you serious? Biosensor.
You might be able to equip that.
Let's see what the pop gun does.
R1. Or your... Yeah.
I look pretty stupid holding this thing. I'll look even more stupid if I fire it.
What's funny is I think you actually need that for later. You have to shoot like a button through a cage or something.
Oh my goodness.
So you want to save that. So yeah, you want to unequip that. Equip your biosensor though. Yeah, see, now you're getting lost, which is where I was. Now I'm like, man, fuck this game. But I figured it out. Yeah. Fucking stupid. Let's see here. Did you?
Biosensor.
Uh-huh. Did you know?
Oh, that's retarded.
That the reason that Marvin Martian wears a skirt is he is actually designed after the Roman god Mars.
Makes sense.
Yep.
And he has the...
Yeah, he has the helmet and everything. So that, yeah, it looks like that only lasts for like 94 seconds. So you might not want to keep it for too long. It's good to have when there's enemies, but you're not even that far yet.
Biosensor, low on energy.
How do I...
I don't know. Click on it again. Maybe, was there a third option? Keep scrolling down. No.
Biosensor.
It'll probably
low on
recharge.
energy.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what it is. It's not in 100 years Phobos will be destroyed, but it's every 100 years it gets closer by 6 feet.
Okay.
So it's gonna crash, but not in 100 years.
Damn, where's that dark room at?
Mm-hmm.
This guy's got 3.
Wow. So, in 1997, 3 Yemeni men claimed that they owned Mars and have the deed to prove it, which is why they sued NASA, saying, we inherited the planet from our ancestors 3,000 years ago.
What?
And they demanded that all operations on Mars come to a halt until the court verdicts are done. Yeah.
Ballsy.
Yeah, we don't give a shit what the Yemenis think, so we just kept it going. But that's part of the conspiracy theory. Yeah, it's got to have something to do with that door.
Where?
Let's see. What is... A gun shown in the first act must be fired in the second act.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. They showed the fucking inverter gun pretty early on in Machete, but he didn't fire it until the third act. Yeah. Maybe you do have to change the girl. I don't know. Or it has something to do with the computer in that room with the girl. If she's still locked in there, check. Yeah, I think you're gonna have to go back to the computer. I mean, we're nearing the end of our stream anyway. Yeah. But
so weird.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, you didn't get very far because that's when I was first playing this game, and I think it's the third green door. You can open it. You can open the door, but you're not allowed to step through it. You unlock the door, and then that character has to run back and go hide. Because if you walk through the door, that's where the girl's at, and then you'll clump together and die. And if you don't know that going into this game, it's like it sets you so far back.
How do you save?
I don't remember. I thought there were save points. Yeah. I thought there were computer save points, but I don't remember.
There's not even a quit menu.
No, you gotta suffer. You gotta suffer. Oh my god, what's it? Chekhov's gun, the concept that describes how every element of a story should contribute to the whole. Da-da-da. Yeah, okay.
Or Alkaline's gun.
Alakini.
Alakini.
I thought about picking it up as a cheap knockoff. Green tag.
Green tag required.
What's the door up to the left require?
It's fuse shut.
Oh.
You know what we could do?
What was that? A green door? Oh, holy shit!
Green tag.
Wow, I'm dumb. I had you running around this whole time.
Oh, let's see.
I thought that was for what's her face.
Honky.
Yeah, I thought that was for what's her face. Yep, explore those things.
The washroom.
There's a zombie on the pooper.
And it is.
He's gonna get up.
Uh-huh.
Can I flush?
No.
I can't flush.
There's your purple tag though. There's your passcode for the other guy. So now you gotta go to the purple door. (3376). Oh, and I think that area is what goes into the dome. It's like this big open area with a dome. Yeah, when you're done over here, I think you're gonna have to check him. Yeah, go back that way. Yeah, back over there. I think you're gonna have to check the body, dude.
Then switch cameras.
Yeah, it switched cameras when we were further to the screen, but you need to check him. Yeah, okay. So go back over and then come to the screen.
The name badge reads Jameson.
So you can try kicking him if you want, but I don't think it's gonna do anything. Yeah, I don't think you have anything that can help him. You can't take everything. But you definitely need those key cards, so.
Oh, piss. Vibroscur.
Some sort of vibrating toilet bowl brush. If it can clean the washroom toilets, it'll clean anything.
It's for a puzzle later on. Like toilet boil. Music cued like it was going to do something, but I don't think he got up. So now, okay, so use that, and I guess now put that green tag up. Keep that one, but I think the rest of it, you should be okay. And then send it up. You have to send it up or else it won't do it automatically. I made that mistake before, where I was trying to suck something down and then I had to go to another character. So now, no, stay with him and go to the purple. Or was the other guy purple? Who had the purple door?
I forget, but let's...
We only have a little bit left.
Yeah,
so.
I want to see if I can go to that door, 3376.
So, since we only got a little bit left, we can talk a little bit more about the game itself.
Okay.
What do you think was the average rating for this game? Being so absolutely loved by these weird fans on the internet.
2 or 3.
Oh, 2 or 3 out of 10?
Yeah.
That's actually pretty low. The average,
6?
yeah, the average rating for the PC copy, which everybody agrees
Is the inferior?
is the better version, is the PC version.
Oh.
Is 59%, with the PS version, the PlayStation version, being 65%. Yet, you hear from people all the time that claim, oh, I think that was the purple door, wasn't it? Yeah, I think that's purple door. No, you have to, just activate it. It should tell you. Yep. So go back to what's his face and give him the purple. Ugh. Boop, boop, boop. Just in case. Yeah. So people absolutely love this game, but for whatever reason, a lot of the main comments, like here's one of the reviews. It's like, this game has a lot to offer. The story, though, seems cobbled together from other sci-fi plots. But
I wonder which door
it remains engaging and keeps you guessing. And it's like, no.
What?
I don't think so, Tim. What do you think was the highest review that this game got? Highest review. Leave the green, I think.
Yeah.
So, yeah, send it back up. Yeah. What do you think was the highest review for this piece of shit?
That's... I would guess an 85.
It's actually pretty close. There was an 8 out of 10. 8 out of 10.
Wow.
Oh, this is the study. Do you have the key, or does what's-his-face have the keys? Yeah, did you keep it on him, or did you give it to the other guy? Oh, yeah, you got it. Okay. So you got to find one of the keys, but then there's also that computer over there. So.
Much as I enjoy a good book, reading doesn't seem...
Yeah, so this game, the PlayStation version came out a year and a half after the initial release.
I wonder if you thought it was a good idea to port it.
Well, it was actually ported the same year to Australia as the PC version.
This thing tells more than the time.
Really? Apparently not.
This thing tells more than the time.
Yeah, because you have to go over. You didn't pull out the code, did you? You have to scroll back. Yeah. The controls of this game are fucked.
Alright.
And And then I think you need to go to the PC, which I think you're going to need the voice changer thing from the other guy. But you can try. You can try it.
More likely.
Is he going to let you?
Uh-oh. They put that Martian Mayhem video game on this computer. One of those action adventures full of useful objects with monsters standing in front of them.
Yeah. It's trying to be self-aware, but instead just comes off as absolute garbage. Fucking horrible. I hate this game. And the like you
1, 2, 3 storage location.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Yeah. So it kind of tells you where certain things are, but so let's see. As you notice, the audience didn't get to see it because of the opening cutscene, but you mentioned it. The PlayStation version of this game was ported and done by Take-Two, who's famous for doing, actually good games like BioShock.
Have you seen WWE 2K20, good sir?
No, I haven't.
It's so bad, PlayStation started voluntarily giving refunds. On top of that, there was a hashtag WWE 2K20, or please fix 2K20.
Wow.
It's horrible.
So yeah, they've done done ports of Mafia. They've done Max Payne, along with Rockstar.
He's dead.
They've done Red Dead. They've done XCOM. They've done the WWE games. They've done Civilization.
2K's huge. BioShock.
Yep. But this was like one of their very, very early ones.
Sayonara.
Sayonara.
I wonder why they chose that instead of Game Over or You're Dead.
Because they were already being compared to Resident Evil.
Might as well.
So they didn't want to seem like they were copying everything. So, well, we kind of talked about some Marsy things.
Yeah.
We went off on a lot of fucking tangents. But I think that is where we're going to have to call it for today. I'm shocked. I'm absolutely shocked that you lasted as well as you did.
I mean, it's a bad Resident Evil ripoff, but as far as bad Resident Evil ripoffs go,
it's not the worst game you've ever
no,
played?
not by far. No. No. On Beard I Try, and there were so many shit games I was stuck with that. I appreciate this more than 2D shit games, so...
So that thing, the Antarctic thing, a lot of the plot of this game is based around that conspiratory theory that they launched life at Earth.
Were it not that I had bad dreams.
Escape.
Yeah.
4 centuries.
But so later on,
those words were written.
we have begun to beta base finds like ruins very similar to New, and then dig down into it and then unleashes like this.
But we still have our bad
virus
dreams.
that basically tries to recreate
coming across the midnight of space
Huh.
and read the cryptic
Cool
circuitry
horror
of their
element.
shape. Decipher all the codes of fear in the heart
structure
of
of
the
like the main area in
I wish I could tell
ruins is
them
actually
all would
pretty
do
cool.
well.
But other than that,
Future, after all, is not so terrible.
the game like almost goes
But that is
nowhere.
not in my
Like
nature.
a lot of the areas you've seen is exactly
The three
it.
ship.
Oh.
Like the only other area that I can remember is like this big domed open area, and it's like a garden.
3 are coming.
But once you get there,
Only
there's
2
some
will leave.
very big.
The bad dreams will always be with us.
But it's not as memorable as things like Dead Space or even Doom.
I wish Dead Space would come back.
Everybody does, but
Love that
EA themselves.
game. EA's been an EA.
So, well, that's kind of our first deep fried episode. We went a little, we went into Mars a little bit, maybe a little deeper than, some people know. We got off on a lot of tangents, but that's kind of what we do. So, next month, not at the end of the month because of the holidays and everything, I believe we're doing it the week before Thanksgiving, we are going to discuss Terminator in depth. All of Terminator.
You've been terminated.
Yeah. So this I wanted to keep under wraps because not a lot of people have heard of Martian Gothic. I kind of wanted to surprise you with how bad it was. That Terminator, I'm not going to surprise you. If I can get it to work, we're going to play Dawn of Fate.
Yes.
Because Dawn of Fate is hands down probably the best Terminator game. Redemption is pretty good, but I think Dawn of Fate's a lot better. And it'll also
I could be bounded in a nutshell.
explain some
I
of
count myself a
the
king
things
of
that I'm
infinite
going to talk about.
space.
Because
Well, not that I have
don't know
bad
how much physical evidence I want to go into
centuries
because
passed
with
since those words were
webcam,
written. We've
Oh,
entered
yeah.
they're not going to see a lot.
Right.
But if I wanted to, I
Bounded
could go
around
some
it in
fucking
nutshell.
Pepe Sylvia, like drawing like
But we still
lines
have our
everywhere. We're going to go deep
I can sense
into.
them
I have a
coming across
really
the midnight of
strange
space and
conspiracy
read the
theory
cryptic
about
circuitry of
the
their
Terminator
shape.
franchise.
Decipher all
So-
codes of fear in the
But
hearts of
we're,
their crew.
actually,
Yeah.
this is a divergent time.
We're going to
Take the
wait
time
a
to
little
draw
bit
with
because
them.
next week
The future, after all,
Terminator
is not so
Dark,
terrible.
what is it called? Dark
But
Fate?
that is
Dark
not
Fate
in my nature.
is coming, and I want to watch that and see how it fits into my thing because Cameron said that that movie is technically the official Terminator 3 now, and that 3, Salvation, and Genesis are like written out of the canon.
Nice.
Only two will leave.
But my
The
theory
bad dreams will
basically
always
says
be
there
with
is no
us.
canon. So we're gonna talk about some of that shit. But
Dreams.
until then, we are going to call it. So thank you for joining us, and we will see you next time, peoples. Watch the Nugget.